Welcome back to Dawn's Astrological Vision. This is the forecast for Libra for April 2017. Libra, sun sign rising and moon sign. On the second of the month, your ruler Venus continues retrograde and backs out of the sign Aries and back into the sign Pisces. This reversal gives relationships a chance to relax as Venus gets a 2-week vacation from the relentlessly masculine environment that the love goddess has been battling since February. On the 15th, Venus ends its retrograde period. This ends the restriction on wedding dates. On the 28th, Venus moves back into the sign Aries. This is the second trip for Venus through the masculine sign Aries and has made this year a challenging one for relations and finances. Also, the planet Mercury is going retrograde. On the 9th, Mercury slows and begins its 3-week retrograde period. Until May 3rd, this is an unfavorable time for signing contracts and starting new projects. It's a perfect time for reviewing the past, reclaiming the present, and researching the future. Mercury is transiting Taurus, your 8th house, and this is an excellent time to clean up leftover tasks, pay unpaid bills, finish unfinished business, and clear up clouded concepts. On the 5th, the planet Mars in your 8th house makes a favorable trine aspect to Pluto in your 4th house. Mars-Pluto aspects can bring about a couple weeks of constructive changes in your own attitudes and environment. This is a good time to finish a program or policy and to eliminate discordant or non-essential factors in your life. If you don't take advantage of this now, you'll get another chance in October. Pluto transiting your 4th house brings about the destruction of old conditions in preparation for the influx of new ones. Some Libras have experienced a strong urge for security and for a place of rest and retreat where they are able to control exactly what is going on in the environment. Therefore, this could indicate a home life which is subject to all sorts of upheavals and battles due to willfulness and obstinacy. Around the 5th of the month, you can have an encounter that brings out covert information that can in turn transform your emphasis to a more honest, courageous direction. You have the energy, drive, and force to sweep others, and you may be given credit for your expertise. Until the 21st, Mars is in your 8th house and puts an emphasis on working in cooperation with another. You can be pooling your resources with a partner. This aspect also brings about the ability to overcome a loss. Issues involving sexuality could also be prominent in your life now. On the 7th, there is a day of sunshine. Jupiter in your sign sits opposite the sun in Aries. This restless face-off occurs once a year and brings a general feeling of optimism. Jupiter can open the door to travel and broadening your perspective through higher education. The other side of the coin can exaggerate the sunny side of life, and you could overextend yourself. The sun is in your 7th house until the 19th. The spotlight continues on your partnerships and close personal relationships. Continue paying attention to your mate or significant other. If any major decisions pop up that need resolving, this is an excellent time to seek professional advice from a consultant, attorney, or other expert. On the 8th, Venus squares Saturn. Generally speaking, a Venus retrograde in a square with Saturn is a double negative for love and self-esteem, and also not a good sign for the financial scene. On the 9th, the Sun in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. Around this date, be aware of others pushing you to the maximum by forcing you into agreements. Try to work ways to cooperate for the good of all concerned rather than force issues. An ultimatum could backfire. The Libra full moon is in your sign on the 11th, and over the next couple of days, you will be full of energy. Try not to be overly aggressive or demanding. However, you will probably be emotionally demanding and giving. Give now, but don't expect anything in return. This is good energy for handling important projects. On the 14th, the Sun and Uranus meet up for their once-a-year merger. This will take place in your seventh house, the sign Aries. Over the next couple of days, watch out for nervousness. You could receive sudden calls or unexpected people or events may bombard you. Again, Uranus is still in your seventh house, and any aspects involving Uranus shows how and where sudden change, excitement, and disruption can come into our lives. Also, where we are likely to rebel against the past and strike out to do our own thing. On the 17th, the Sun in Aries trine Saturn in Sagittarius. You should find it easier to handle your responsibilities and to honor your commitments and duties to others who need you. On the 19th, the Sun moves out of Aries and moves into Taurus. The gifts of Taurus include stability, determination, and longevity. Its faults are stubbornness and possessive. With the Sun in Taurus, you should begin to see projects and plans that were started under the Sun in Aries grow stronger and take root. Over the next 30 days, you may find yourself increasingly involved in business arrangements with others, which could entail sharing resources or borrowing money. Influential people may make their means available to you. Stay on top of periods of worry or anxiety that seem to come out of nowhere. Intensifying your emotional, psychic, and energy connection to an intimate partner is the focus now. Beware of issues of shared values, shared properties, or money, and the ways you blend with or withhold from one another on all levels. Issues regarding wills, investments, inheritance, insurance, and preparation for personal and or mutual long-term security and well-being could be highlighted. Pluto goes retrograde on the 20th in Capricorn. This period lasts until the end of September. Again, this is your fourth house of home, landed property, parents, endings, and the bonded unbreakable relationships. The Pluto retrograde forces us to look inside of ourselves, and this can sometimes be unnerving because the transformation we undergo while under the influence of Pluto retrograde tend to require a complete breakdown of the old ways and ideas before we can move forward again. Pluto brings us face to face with our shadow self. In other words, this represents our negative emotions and desires we choose to not show. On the 21st, Mars moves into your sister sign, Gemini. Until June 4th, watch out for disputes over matters of outlook and philosophy. In extreme cases, religious intolerance may be evident. Added care may be necessary if traveling in foreign countries, as there can be a risk of accidents or aggressive encounters. Also, with Mercury retrograde, recheck your itinerary just to make sure. The Taurus new moon is on the 26th. This is an excellent time to begin a savings plan. The planet Pluto is the natural ruler of the 8th house. Therefore, you may be undergoing deep transformation beneath the surface. Be careful of possessive tendencies during this time. Instead, focus on finding connectedness through compassion for all. Libra, your lucky days of the month are the 1st, 10th, 11th, 19th, 20th, 28th, and 29th. This completes your general forecast for April. Thank you for returning, liking, subscribing, and sharing. I hope you have a wonderful month, Libra, and I will talk to you in May. Bye.